Grand risings, beautiful kings and queens, fruit lovers all over the world. I'm so happy to be joined today by my beautiful queen sister, Tiffany Garres, who will be
Yay!
sharing with us today about her exciting event that she put together all by herself, that she created by the grace of God, the Texas Fruit Festival coming up in just a few weeks on September
Yes.
10th. Thank you so much for
Yay!
joining me today, Queen. I'm so happy to have you here and to be part of the Texas Fruit Festival. Thank you for inviting me to be part of it once again. You have put together this beautiful event for us, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Eileen. First, I want to say that I am just so honored to know you and have you in my life. I love you and everything that you're doing. You are so amazing and so, authentic, and you just share your beautiful heart and your beautiful life, and you help so many people, and you're encouraging so many people. The work that you're doing has helped me to inspire me, and this virtual community that we're in, it's real and it's supportive and it's loving, and you above anybody I know is available for everybody. Like, now people don't just go like flooding her inbox, okay? But I mean, I know firsthand that you are just so busy and dealing with working with people and helping people and supporting people, and just all of your tireless messages on the kings and queens of raw. It's just inspiring, and you're just tireless. It's soul work, and I honor that, because I know what it's like to have a calling and a soul mission. It's just like, you can't forget, you can't let it go. It has to be done. It has to be the best work you can possibly do, because we're doing it to serve God. We're doing it for the love, for heaven on earth, for healing and joy, and your heart's in the right place. And I just want to say thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you're
Yeah.
so sweet. And I'm truly, truly blessed that we connected because our missions are very
Yeah.
aligned, you and I. We're
Yeah.
literally, we just want to serve. We just want to help. Like, how can I help? How can I serve? You too, you are a mentor to many people transitioning to the plant-based lifestyle, to fruitarianism, going through juice fasts. That's some serious work as well. It's difficult. You're a specialist in regenerative detoxification. You've been studying
Yeah.
this, you've been experimenting on yourself too. And I really love how you are in full service as well, in so many different ways. You're also a homeschooling mama, a great
Yeah. Oh gosh.
you do all these things. You organize these fruit lucks. You have a tree planting program. Like, you're doing so much for
Yes,
a mama,
people.
for our earth, and for the people here.
That's really, golly, this is really what I want to do this year. I was not able to do this last year with Texas Fruit Festival, is to get some profit and to, organize early spring fruit tree planting. The goal of Texas Fruit Festival is to really bring fruit trees to Central Texas, to really begin to spread awareness of how important it is to take care of our fruit trees. Food is free, but yet food prices are going up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going up. Inflation is happening. Transporting the fruits and the foods are really expensive. Even from Florida, we live in Central Texas. Food coming from Florida is very abundant, but it's not cheap to bring it to Texas. And actually, there's state laws in shipping it and sending it. So it's not that easy.
Oh.
So, if we take control over our own food security, we will not be in a food desert. We will not have any limits. So, yeah, Texas Fruit Festival is happening in 2 weeks, September 10th. It's an incredible festival. I have amazing speakers. Aline is an amazing speaker, is an incredible advocate for the raw vegan lifestyle. We've been on our journeys. I mean, it's a journey. Everybody experiences their journey differently. And the truth is that we're just trying to self-heal. I mean, there is no shame. All of the speakers are vegan. All of the speakers, there's certain things you can do to cleanse your diet, to heal yourself, to eliminate inflammation, eliminate lymphatic stagnation, eliminate puffiness. Like, you wake up in the morning, do you notice that your face and your eyes have bags? And that's because of the lymphatic stagnation that foods that we've eaten that have created acidosis in our body. And salt also has a water retention aspect, which is not good because we are not able to eliminate and to be have clear lymphatic elimination. You know, when we're retaining those fluids, then our kidneys aren't filtering the lymphatic acidosis, the acid, and there's different acids our body creates depending on what we eat and what we do. You know, like if we go work out, we create lactic acid. If we, so there's like phytic acid, there's like 7 different acids depending on the foods that we eat. And so our body has a system to eliminate that, and that's through with our kidneys. And so there's a whole science behind it, but being vegan is important for not only for all of the other amazing compassionate reasons, but also our health. Our health is really important. The health message is vegan. Okay. This is really important. It cannot be, meat-based, animal product based, yet everybody's welcome to come to Texas Fruit Festival. And there is absolutely no guilt or shame for anybody who has eaten any, animal products. It's just how bad do you want to heal? How bad do you want to feel great? Do you want to pull back, the hands of time and look better than you've ever looked, younger than you've ever looked? I mean, do you want to feel better, be more active, have more fluxibility and range of motion? When we are acidic and lymphatically stagnant, that means that lymphatic system, that the lymphatic fluid begins to coagulate, it begins to harden. Then some people do get tumors, cysts, boils. It just hardens and agglomerates. And then so all of these diseases, and people are getting that stuff cut out of their body, but you don't need to do that. I mean, hey, I don't have any medical licenses. And, from my perspective, everything I've learned that, when we eat our species specific diet, we are healthy. We are clear, we're cleansed. And a clarifying diet is, we're talking about our fluids, our internal fluids. We are cells and 2 fluids, blood and lymph. We are like 75% lymphatic fluid. This is the water that comprises our body. It's all interstitial. It's between all of our cells. It's everywhere. So this is why you can have puffiness like in your face, and you're like, I look puffy everywhere, not just my glands, not just my eyes. It's everywhere. Your hands might start feeling a little more like stiff in the morning, depending on what you're eating. So we have to really look at the things that are going into our body when we go about our day-to-day life, and not just be content with the status quo. If we're not feeling our best, we don't have to be content with anything less than our best. And we can, part of the mission of Texas Fruit Festival is to discover the depths of your soul, is to, make changes. It might be dramatic and transformational, and see the transformation happening. And then to understand the healing process. And this is why we're all here, because we've gone through the healing process. We're on the journey. And, some people feel like, okay, a vegan diet is extreme. Some people feel like a fruitarian diet is extreme. Some people feel like a juice fasting for 100 days is extreme. Yeah, but I mean, it's extreme to get stuff cut out of you. If you have a cyst, it's extreme to be in constant pain. People have healed. I have a speaker, Sade Martin, who healed fibromyalgia. She has before and after pictures that'll knock your socks off. I mean, she had inflammation. She had very, very serious edema. Her feet didn't even look like feet. And then fruit helped and healed. And so this is, I'm jumping to we're not talking even about the science right now, but the power of fruit, and to get all of that, any lymphedema and swelling. And so it's a really important to come to Texas Fruit Festival and learn. With one festival, we can't even teach or talk about all of our experiences and everything how it benefits the world, how it benefits all to be raw vegan, to be, fruit-based vegan. I mean, ultimately what you eat is a very personal experience, and nobody can tell you anything. But when we do things for the good of all, meaning we're harming none, we don't kill, we reap karmic benefits. We resolve karma that has stagnated our life, because we're really ultimately all energy. Everything is happening in our life, and I believe everything has a reason, everything has an answer. We've attracted it for one reason or another. Either we have stored trauma in our bodies, either we have certain beliefs going on, thinking that, self-limiting beliefs, or our actions aren't resonating with our words. So it's like we have to walk our talk. So if we really want to self-heal, we're praying for healing, or if we want healing, that we have to do some things about it. And I know with diet, there's just a lot of conflicting information in the world. The meat industry will tell you that meat is healthy. The dairy industry tells you that dairy is healthy. But that's really, it's really not the case. We're not baby cows, and we're not carnivores. Did you know carnivores, like cats and big cats, they don't chew their food. They don't have they don't have side to side motion on their jaw. They do not have chewing molars. All of their teeth are built for cutting. All cats can only move their jaws in one direction. It's like the hinge joint. Yet dogs and humans, we can move our jaw in we can do some grinding. Okay, so they don't chew meat, and they eat it raw.
Yeah, they have a whole different system able to digest.
Oh,
They have a whole different, more stomach acid as well. Their whole
absolutely.
body, their whole physiology, and you can see it from teeth, are just completely different to us. So we are, this will segue into the question of like, what does it mean to be, a fruitarian, a frugivore? There's a lot of questions around that, and it's not necessarily what you think, everybody. Think a little bit about that and talk about that, because our physiology, reflects the fact that we are designed to eat a certain diet, right? We're a certain lifestyle. So let's talk a little bit about that, our human, our species specific diet and what that looks like.
Yes. Well, okay. So the curriculum I'm teaching my children as a homeschool mother say there are 3 types of consumers: carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. That's what we were taught in school, just 3 types. I had never even heard of what a frugivore was. And so, it's just really interesting, because we are, the great apes, the bonobos, the chimpanzees, the orangutans. I mean, they're fruit eaters. They climb in the trees. They're our closest relatives. They are our cousins. We are made to be climbers. Yes, we don't have opposable thumbs on our feet, but we've also been wearing shoes, and we've changed our physiology and our DNA. Yes, we're different. Okay. We haven't found the missing link, but at the same time, there are native indigenous tribes that show that they have splayed feet, and their big toes are out. They almost look like thumbs. They're out. And so their feet look a lot different than our narrow feet that are straight, that have been formed to be in shoes. And so if we had been climbing trees in our natural environment as children, or just more climbing, the flexibility, because the big toe in our foot is not a hinge joint. It can move around. It would have more strength. So it just depends on, and we have hands for grasping fruit. So we are frugivores, but our entire body, was not designed to eat, animal products or meat. And to digest that, it actually takes months for our body, if it can get it out. Otherwise, it's acidic, and it's harming the intestines and the gut as it sits in our gut. A lot of people, and Aline can attest to this, is one of the powers of raw vegan diet, is that for people to believe you can live and thrive on a fruit-based raw vegan diet, a raw vegan diet. We have juice fasted for months. Yep. And been fine. Okay, yeah, maybe we have some cravings after the juice fast. Maybe we, and I know that there are some people who will have, who aren't on this path or seeking this path, may have criticisms that you can't be raw vegan forever. But it's each to their own, but I'll tell you, zoos figured out a long time ago that animals have shorter lives when they cook their foods. We're the only species on the planet that cooks our food. So when we start to look at, speciesism, that do we really believe we're better than every other species? I mean, I think it comes down to that. Are we humble enough to look at ourselves and say we are we honor all life. We are here with everyone. So there are moral and ethical implications, but even if you are motivated for health concerns as well, our body isn't biologically adapted. And so we are no different than all animals on the earth, that we're not adapted for cooked foods. Cooked foods are acidifying. It acidifies the foods to cook any foods. This includes veggies, and it changes it. It also, eliminates it. It diminishes the angstroms, which is the light quotient. So, we are energy feeding off of energy. And when we get to the quantum level and we talk about, okay, if I'm an energetic being, there's something else in me other than matter. Like if I really look at myself from a third density perspective, I'm just a body, but there's something, I have dreams, I have an internal dialogue, I have sentience, I have a consciousness. That's something else above just being matter, and so that aspect of us is energetic, and it thrives on inspiration, and it depletes on sadness and depression and scarcity mentality. And so there's some psychology, involved with our consciousness staying in the present moment. Teachers like Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle, one of my favorite, talks about, the power of now. And this is because there is no time, when we sit down and think about, okay, our energy, body feeds off of energy. So are we feeding off of the energy of animals that are suffering, or of subpar foods, or of the highest frequency food available, which is fruit? These light quotient that has been scientifically measured. And pictures have been taken that fruit has like 14,000 angstroms. Even vegetables are living foods. Vegetables are like 7,000 to 8,000 angstroms. So it's less. So they're not as strong when it comes to clarifying the lymphatic system, which is important because you can still have a clean gut. And if you have a clean gut, you're pretty healthy. But if you're doing it on greens, a lot of greens and veggie based raw vegans out there, then that's not really clarifying the lymphatic system. There's so much work to be done when you're in the season of doing that healing work. Everybody's in a different season. People come to Texas Fruit Festival and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not a fruitarian. So, or they don't want to hear the raw vegan message. And it's like, wait a second, you do what you can when you can. You don't even have some cooked vegans have told me like, I'm not raw. I'm not 100% raw. It's like, you know what? Sometimes you can have a meal that's raw, or a day that's raw, or go several days and then go back uncooked, or go back several days. And it's interesting and important to know the difference of how your body reacts to different foods. Because if you're always eating cooked foods, you will, I have felt a decline. I have felt more inflammation, more pain, more, I can do less, or more cloudiness. Like I'm not as quick as I used to. But then after cleansing and doing a fruit-based 100-day juice fast and, staying on fruit, I feel a lot more alive. I have energy like I never even knew I could have. It was like, you'll get energy you can't even believe. So it's really incredible that we, if we're going to eat energy foods, if we're, trying to fill our energy body, if we're trying to cleanse and detoxify, the fruit is the ideal food for us biologically, energetically, ethically. And it's the best for the planet. It's for the good of all. It's an amazing food. It's free. The trees and the plants give it freely. We have the keys to create heaven on earth here and now. We really do. And this message, it does not go out of style. It's a timeless message. And I believe it's an imminent message that we are being called and confronted with the reality that we can self-heal and we can have abundance. Abundance means that we are cultivating our own understanding of abundance. I personally feel that we're on our ascension path. That means on our spiritual growth, on our journey, on our consciousness, our understanding of consciousness, that we begin to manifest and anchor down these practices in reality in our body. We embody these practices. We go and we plant the fruit trees. We plant them in our backyard. We do it. Even one, because putting that energy into the ground and doing the best that we can, all of us doing a little, is investing in heaven on earth, because we do not need to be paying food at the grocery store. We certainly can, but that doesn't mean that we lose our empowerment to the conveniences of this third density reality. So this is where we're taking our power back, is that our reality in our life doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be, I don't know, it doesn't have to be what other people have created a narrative for, because marketing is very powerful.
It's about taking our power back, right? And like you said, talking about heaven on earth, everybody wants to see heaven on earth out there, but it's about creating it within. And that's exactly what fruit does. It's definitely done that for me, with my juice cleanses. Like, it's almost like people are like, oh, but why the obsession with fruit? Why the obsession with food? But it's like, that's the thing, is that once we start fueling ourselves in these electric ways, we activate who we truly are. We bring out our inner being. And it's no coincidence that they're not promoting this in schools. It's no coincidence that, they're not teaching us this, because our society is built to keep us asleep, oppressed, enslaved, and sick, because they want us to be, dependent on them. So taking back our control with the fruit is also about reconnecting to your divine mission. It's about reconnecting. Like, I don't think Texas Fruit Festival would have happened if you hadn't been healing yourself, if you hadn't been activating those, kind of dormant, that dormant mission. We're all here for a mission. We're all here with a purpose. And I can attest to this too. It's like, I just started seeing who I truly was when I started cleansing and detoxing on a cellular level, and removing all the old trash, removing all the old stories, healing the trauma, all of that. The fruit helps us with so much. And that's really what the mission of Texas Fruit Festival is to inspire people, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's not about it's about planting seeds, quite literally, in the earth, and also in our spirits of, hey, this is possible. For me, I definitely needed some mentors. I needed to watch a lot of YouTube videos and see others doing it. So, all the speakers, maybe we could talk a little bit about what to expect during the fruit festival, and a little bit about the speakers that you chose, because really, transformation comes from inspiration. It comes from seeing others who are standing, living, thriving, and talking about this lifestyle. And it's like the energy that needs to be to almost like counter the whole pharmaceutical industry, the fast food industry.
That's right.
Bombarded by commercials of cancer forming foods and mucus forming cheeses and meat. So it's like, we need these events to bring us back to the truth, bring us back to reality, and to inspire. So tell us a little bit, when somebody purchases a ticket, what can they expect at the Texas Fruit Festival, which is on September 10th, by the way. If you haven't gotten your tickets, go ahead and check it out, www.texasfruitfestival.com, or reach out to Queen Tiffany. Tell us a little bit, what can we expect?
Absolutely. Well, firstly, the ticket prices go up tonight at midnight. So we wanted to put this, message out. There's so much to get at Texas Fruit Festival. I have amazing speakers. I mean, I've got a Shane Sterling, who is offering for his VIP pack, for the VIP ticket purchasers, a membership to his Raw Vegan Rising online community. He has been a raw vegan for like 5 or 6 years. And this just goes to show, I knew about Fully Raw Christina when I was, trying to be vegan and then switching to raw vegan. I had no support around me. And as powerful and amazing as she is, it wasn't enough to just see her online and see her personality on her videos. For me, it's far more powerful to know people in person and to have heart-to-heart conversations and to really connect and to really believe, look at this person. They're amazing. Look, they did it. I think that like Fully Raw Christina, she was like, in a different like orbit. And I'm like, I could never do that. But then I see people in front of me. I'm like, wow, they did it. Maybe I can do it too. And this is really the power of Texas Fruit Festival. I've got Raw Vegan Justin. He's a local guy that's been raw vegan for years. And he's just, doing the good work. And so I really like him. We've got John Bordenaro. He's been vegan for like 10 years, raw vegan for like 5 years. And he decided to do a 4 years, and he decided to do a 230-day fruit-based juice fat feast. Yep. Well, it just goes to show you that we don't need fat. when you juice feast, you're not drinking fat. Now we do need fat over our life. We'll need to have some kind of like a maximum, like Dr. Greger on How Not to Die. He says we need a maximum of an eighth of an avocado, the equivalent of an eighth of an avocado, or a small handful, like a tablespoon of nuts a day. That means we don't even, if you want more nuts or more avocado than that, like you want to eat one avocado, that means we don't eat fat every day. So this is a really huge low fat diet. This is a huge distinction. I tell you what, I love food. Everybody loves food. That's the obsession, that we love it. We're tasting, we're experiencing, we're embodying, and there's energy in food. Food is incredible. It comes inside of us. It's a intimate experience. Food is just, it's comforting and it's beautiful. And to know the right foods that are help you is very empowering. Not that you always have to do the best, by yourself. But then when you start to love the foods that are better for you and start to empower yourself with, more recipes, that helps you. But any case, John Bonanaro did a 230-day juice feast. So no fats. That was one of my fears when I was going into a raw vegan diet. What about fat? What about, aren't I gonna, I don't know. I thought our brain needed fat to thrive.
So much programming, right? There's so much fear and programming. And when we undo ourselves of that and we see that we're actually thriving without it, it's like complete dismantling of our belief system. But we have to experience it. And there's a transition, in order to get there. Like I've been on this path for 8 years, and it's an up and down journey. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying to embrace this lifestyle as much as possible, and doing what feels right, and experimenting, and being able to be like brutally honest with ourselves too, being like, okay, this is how it feels when I eat a cooked meal. This is how it feels when I eat a fruit meal. So and it's so beneficial to have community. Me too. I mean, Shane helped me so much in, transitioning, because he was offering a lot of advice, a lot of support, and, seeing King John, like he's now in support and service to others that are asking him a lot of questions. So once we click into this, there's no turning back. And it's the most beautiful thing. And we think that we're letting go of a lot of things, but look at all that we're gaining too. There's so many benefits. It's like we have to let go of those little rocks in order to pick up all the diamonds that are along our way. We got to let go of certain things, but then the benefits and joys are immense after. Queen Jules too, she's done almost a year on juices. She's completely healed herself. Queen Sade, you talked about it.
Sade. There's and then there's Dave Escamilla. He's gonna be he's the creator of Deja Vibes, and he's gonna be he does shows all over Central Texas. So he's a singer, he's a lead of a live band, and so they're gonna be providing some of the entertainment for Texas Fruit Festival. He's been a fruitarian, he's healed a bunch of stuff. I mean, he eats fruit like almost 100%. And low fat. I mean, it's incredible. Talk about, confronting your emotions when you go low fat. Low fat is a incredibly difficult step to do, but also plant-based and, all of that. So we've also got Dr. Arelli, the raw vegan doctor. She's coming to Texas Fruit Festival. I am so honored to have her come and speak at Texas Fruit Festival, and to speak about where all disease begins. It begins in the gut. So, we have an incredible lineup of speakers. I'm going to speak, and got Vic Wheeler. He's been a fruitarian for about 2 years. He's been a vegan for several years. So these people who have started and can talk about how to transition, how they transition and their experience, because just the transition by itself, it's really, people lose 100 pounds, 50 pounds. People are eliminating 20 pounds of waste, on a 100-day fruit juice fast, or, juice feast. You can be eliminating solids, even drinking strained juices. You can be eliminating solids that are stored in your gut for like 75, 80 days.
I released over 25 pounds of old waste, mucoid plaque, and my 113-day juice cleanse. It was unbelievable. I couldn't even believe it, because I had been plant-based before too, kind of, not always healthy, but yeah, there's so much
Yeah.
accumulated waste, and the liberation that we feel from that coming out is undeniable. King Matt too, I don't want to forget him. He's been
Yes,
healing
King
himself
Matt.
as well.
That's right. Matt for Mankind. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He's incredible. He has an incredible channel and, an incredible message, and his energy is incredible. Just to hear him talking and his passion about, the vegan message, it just starts to all come together. You get all the boxes checked. It has the, ethical, the healing, I always felt like, when I was trying to figure, I was paleo in my 20s. And then, I just went all over the place. And then I was eating, I tried being a vegan, cooked vegan early on, but I was putting a lot of oil and I was sauteing vegetables a lot. And oil is really bad for it causes arterial plaques, cholesterol plaques. You don't just need animal products to get cholesterol plaques. Vegetable oil will do it to you. And so, but I always had in my heart, like, what the food that is healthy for me is not going to hurt me if I eat a lot of it. Because a lot of these nutritionists will say, okay, in moderation. So if you're going to have a little bit of a certain kind of food, eat like 6 ounces. That's the ideal portion. Portion control. No, fruit-based raw vegans do not, low-fat raw vegans. We are not dealing with portion control here. We are dealing with our emotions, our addictions. We're dealing with our programs, our self-limiting beliefs. We're dealing with the toxins that are coming out of our body. So it's a completely different consciousness. But I promise you, there is a food that you can eat as much as you want and it will never hurt you. I mean, until you're full, obviously. I mean, physically, it can make it, but you can eat fruit. I've sat down and I have just eaten like 9 mangoes or 8 mangoes. And I'm just like, oh, I can't move. And it never hurt me. I woke up, I was fine. It was good to my body. I just was like, wow, I feel great. Had I eaten a harmful meal, a cooked meal of any kind, I would have been suffering for like 2 days. But so there is a difference. It's undeniable. And so, yeah, Texas Fruit Festival
I can attest to this. Going back to a little bit of cooked foods, I could definitely feel the difference. And I'm definitely going to share my journey, not being in judgment of it, but definitely observing, having been, with the low fat, no salt, no oil, no seasonings for like, 6 months hard, but also like almost 2.5 years on strictly raw, and now experimenting with it. Everything you're saying is so true. So, I'm being in a lot of self-love and compassion. But yeah, I definitely feel a difference. I definitely feel the puffiness. Definitely feeling the undertone of a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of the depression coming back. The vibe isn't quite the same. I'm still high vibe, I feel like I've done a lot of healing, and I think at a certain point, I'm not demonizing cooked foods necessarily. I'm not saying like we can't go back to them a little bit, but it's a slippery slope. I mean, I told you how many sushi rolls I had last night, it's a slippery slope when you start introducing these foods, these high.
Just one night.
It's been a few nights.
It's okay. That's okay.
It's okay. I'm experimenting. I am my own experiment in life, and that's what it's all about. So I definitely going in it with a lot of grace and encouraging anybody who's even curious about being plant-based, curious about this lifestyle, curious about meeting a fruitarian. Like at the beginning, I just wanted to touch one. Like, are you
exactly?
Like, what do you eat? Who are you?
Yes.
It was just like an alien to me because I had.
They're different. Let me tell you, John, off of his 230-day fruit-based juice feast, he was like in orbit. He was different, totally different. And now he's coming back and eating some. And so, but still, it does change you. It does.
Yes. So it's so great to gather. It's so great to come in community. That's what it's all about, is to meet others. And I mean, from last year, this is how we met, Queen Tiffany and I. So there has a very powerful effect in terms of connecting us all throughout the world, people from all different walks of life coming together. I have made some incredible friends from last year, Texas Food Festival, long-lasting, like lifetime friendships. Projects are blooming from this, like so many things from taking that step, and also investing in yourself, like investing. I think there's something to be said about purchasing a ticket, even the like financial exchange of energy, being like, I love myself so much. I am facing my fears in this way. I'm gonna go, because it's kind of scary, right? Let's not lie, to like go to a festival. I was a little bit intimidated, like I'm gonna go meet all these people, like, you know, it's a little bit scary. But then once you cross that threshold and you invest in yourself, you invest in this movement, like magical things start to happen, because that's what it's all about. It's an energy exchange. You're giving to yourself, you're giving to others, you're supporting this movement. I think it's so important. Tell us a little bit about why you think it's so important to support this movement. It's not just an event. This is a movement that is, you know, reverberating. Is that the word?
Reverberating.
Reverberating. Sorry, my French.
Yeah.
Throughout the cosmos, throughout the world, that will have a ripple effect. So tell us a little bit about, you know, what this is doing for Austin, for Texas, and the world.
That's right. Well, you know, I grew up here in Austin. I went to Round Rock High School, and, you know, in 1996, I'm going to tell my age. But yeah, I mean, I never heard anything like it. I never did. I mean, and I've had, you know, my heart goes out once I found out about the Fruitarian message last year. I was vegan 6 years ago. I knew about the vegan message, but it is not as healing as a fruit-based raw vegan lifestyle. It just, for me, I was like, that's the missing information. It made sense. It clicked, because I was eating, okay, vegan processed food. I mean, pretty good food, like tacos, you know, bean tacos with rice. And I mean, my favorite foods with salsa and things like that when I was cooked vegan. But there was something missing. There was something missing. I want everyone to know what it feels like and be empowered to know how to self-heal when they want to, because we cannot, when something happens and we get sick or something's going on, you know, that's not the time to start trying to educate yourself on an entire world of what our species is and how we take in energy. It's just too much information. It's really important to maintain this message, you know, loud and clear in Central Texas and surrounding lands, that people understand, hey, there's a festival. I want Texas Fruit Festival, not for my own ego, literally. I mean, my goal is that people, you know, through marketing or something, understand that, okay, fruit is the way to heal. So many people don't eat fruit. When I was paleo, the paleo diet doesn't even include fruit.
Keto too.
You know?
Keto.
The Atkins diet.
Yeah.
So many people want to lose weight, and the Dr. Atkins died at like a really young age from, you know, cardiovascular disease. I mean, these fats will kill you. And so there's so much misinformation, and Texas Fruit Festival is really a divine mission that came to me. It's bigger than me. I mean, like, it's for the glory of God and for his people. I've had to tell myself a couple times, if I get worked up, like, no, this is for you, God. This is all of this, you know, bless this festival, that it serve you, and that your children, your people, that all humanity hear this message, and that it is a healing message and an empowering message, and it is a vehicle to bring down heaven on earth so that we can feel better, we can transform ourselves, and we understand that the power is in our hands. Yes, there is divine intervention, there's divine miracles and love that can open our heart, but it's also within our power. We are here to experience our own empowerment, our own self-healing, our own self-love, because that's how you mature your soul. That's how you grow and you bring in miracles for yourself. This is how we manifest synchronicity, your divine soul path, your purpose. But when you're feeling sick and stuck and stagnant, and you're eating like, you know, beans all the time, or, you know, even that's fine, but like, it does matter how we eat, so we feel lighter in our body. And I believe part of the ascension of becoming happier, becoming liberated, you know, in the Christian faith, it's like salvation. I feel like salvation is a higher inspiration, a higher heart expansion. But it's hard to have a heart expansion when you're feeling sick, when your gut is your sacral. That's your sacral energy.
You're in survival mode. Yeah, it's hard to think of anything higher consciousness if you're simply surviving. You know, you're not thriving.
Yeah.
You're in pain. You're uncomfortable. You're depressed.
Pain. Mm-hmm. We're not in heaven on earth when our body is in pain, and so a lot of the pain starts in the gut. Mm-hmm. It's all starts in the gut, and so when we have our gut checked, healthy, clear, we're eating the right foods that nourish our gut, then, and it's different for everyone at different times, you know. I know people who were raw vegan for like 16 years, and then they went to plant-based whole food, you know, so they added beans and rice and potatoes, sweet potatoes. Well, I mean, everybody's healing journey is different, but to cleanse from the foods we were eating, you know, the standard American diet, pizza and pastas and all these other things that were fed to us as children into our adulthood, to cleanse from those things and to reset is its own journey to go through the transition. And then once you've self-healed, then you're sovereign. You know, this is a path of sovereignty.
Right.
It's not, we're not giving our empowerment away anymore. We know what my body feels better is this, and it's not ego based. It's from a healed perspective to know for sure, okay, this is where I am now. It's a testimony.
And you could trust yourself a lot more when you're eating. Add
Yes.
that into is that, you know, sometimes our cravings, when our gut microbiome is tuned into a certain type of food, we can't really trust ourselves with it. You know, like I'm just gonna say it straight up, or when we're cleansing and we're feeling like eating pizza or chicken wings and you know, super high fat foods, like, you know,
Yes.
we can't really trust ourselves, you know, like our body doesn't need a donut, you know, like we literally, there's nothing in us that needs a donut except for the mental and emotional aspect of it. So once we cleanse, I feel like we can come to a place of truly trusting ourselves. And if an individual truly needs, you know, feels like they need a sweet potato or a little bit of beans after they've gone through that process, I believe at least 2 years of deep cleansing on a fruit-based
Definitely.
diet,
Definitely.
then
2
it's
years,
coming
yeah.
from a place of like, okay, I really need this, you know. And even though I am eating cooked foods, like I have no desire to eat cake anymore. And I used to have like a big sugar addiction, ice cream, like none of that. Like I don't want none of that, you know. If anything, I'm craving a little bit more
Right.
salt, which is making me, you know, think about the sodium, and maybe I'm not having enough sodium in my raw vegan diet. So I'm just like observing things, but there's nothing in me that wants sugar. So it's really interesting that you say that, because yeah, a lot of people, and there's a lot of judgment too in these communities, like, oh my God, did you see that Cara is like not raw vegan anymore? And even I found myself being in that judgment of like, oh my gosh, no, like this, like almost like, you know, so much shock. But hey, maybe that's what she needs right now. Maybe it's not forever, but can we, you know, all love each other unconditionally, and, you know, understand that we're all on this journey. And here I am now, and I'm like, oh my God, there I was judging it. But I think that's why it's happening to me, to like remove that judgment, to remove that perfectionism from my own life, so I can look upon others with even more grace and compassion, because
Yeah.
I'm not in her body, nobody's in my body, you know.
Right.
And we're all on this journey, and we can only love each other, because we may come back to this path, you know. Many of us may go a certain way, even some people might go and eat meat for a little while, go drink again, go smoke again. Like I've had so many relapses. And can our community be loving and kind to one another, so that, you know, when and if that individual chooses to come back, they feel accepted, you know, just like AA meetings. They're like food is definitely an addiction.
Right.
So we need support, we need love. And I know that all of this is happening to soften me and humble me as well, so that I can support others in even greater ways. So speaking of
Yeah.
food, sorry.
I was just going to say that it can be an addiction, but it's also, you know, our birthright to eat, because we're embodied. We incarnated into a body, but also it's all relative, that there doesn't have to be absolutes. So when someone, you know, I don't worry myself as much with labels. Although I'm vegan, I mean, if I've gone to a restaurant and ate, you know, if I ate rice and it had butter that I didn't know about, that I didn't order the butter or didn't want the butter or didn't, you know. And so even as I go, or if I order veggies, but then they give me sauteed veggies and I eat the veggies, but then maybe it was butter on the veggies. Like, ugh, I can't be 100% all the time. But at the same time, that there is, it's relative. So what is the best decision I can make now? So if I want, you know, a salad at a restaurant and I'm really hungry, is the salad, and they don't have I'm stuck. I don't have dressing. Maybe I'll do like salsa. And then sometimes if I'm really hungry, I'll get some veggies on the side, or, you know, I don't ask, you know, I'm like, okay, sauteed veggies, but then I have to go to the steamed veggies if I really want to clean it up. So it's always relative micro changes. So sometimes we're making better choices. Sometimes we're, it's so yeah, trying to stay away from labels because there's just no absolutes. It doesn't mean that someone's rejected their entire morals. It's just, hopefully.
Well, tell us a little bit about the food that will be served, because that's another thing that for me anyway, to have a meal that was prepared in this way really lit me up to what's possible, So tasting, Queen Karen Osborne is our chef for the Texas Fruit Festival. And last year I was coming off of a water fast and I ate 3 of her plates.
Yeah, it was good.
I took one, and then you told me I could go get more, but
yeah,
it was towards the end, and there was some left, and I was just like, I just couldn't get enough. It was so good. I was so hungry. It was refeeding. I just couldn't believe how delicious it was. It was so good. So I'm really excited to be eating the food, to be inspiring others that are going to be getting it in their bodies, maybe for the first time ever. They're going to get a living foods meal, and that can completely change somebody's trajectory to be like, wait a minute, I can eat like this. I could make this at home. How do I do this? Because we just don't know sometimes. So I love that you got a great chef to prepare the food. There's going to be so much fruit there. Tell us a little bit about the food.
Yeah, definitely. So Karen, she's amazing. She's going to be, we've got 50 plates. That's the limiting factor of Texas Fruit Festival, is the number one most expensive ticket bill for Texas Fruit Festival is the food. That is the most expensive bill. And that is my last bill that I pay for to get the fresh foods. So that's coming up next. But yes, there's 50 plates, so I'm going to be feeding 50 people. We have 10 tickets left for people who want to eat. So Karen makes she's a raw vegan chef. She makes an amazing fruitarian meal. We're going to have this amazing sun cheese, cannelloni, and the menu is incredible. She's got these beautiful cucumber rolls that have this, basil pate in it that's all raw vegan, carrot meat with a amazing microgreen salad, and then she has so that's not even the whole menu. I haven't even memorized the menu. I'm like, you take care of that. It's just amazing and filling and delicious. And then a blueberry cake, a raw vegan blueberry cake. And then I have for the snacks, a Prep to Your Door is a vegan and raw vegan subscription food delivery company. They have a commercial kitchen, and when you order the foods, they will, deliver the foods to you ready and individually packaged. Well, they are sponsoring Texas Fruit Festival, offering 50, AM and PM snacks. So the AM snack is a sprouted microgreen salad. The PM snacks is a banana cinnamon roll with these calming mushroom based coconut bites. So it's really delicious and medicinal. So they're really growing their menu. She has over 100 recipes anyway. So it's really exciting. And then we're just going to be going, and we've got sponsors. The Suja Juice is donating 100 juices. So everybody's going to be drinking juice, and we've got I'm going to be having a display, a fruit mandala extravaganza on a table. Everyone's going to be able to be cutting melons and cutting fruits that I'm able to get, yeah. And so, also Go Paul's is donating their amazing power wraps, which are delicious. Everybody gets some of that. Fruit festivals are very special. That's usually people who care about the environment and care about their bodies and are happy people. It's a really happy event. Texas isn't known for fruit. And so Central Texas, because sometimes we deal with drought in the summers, and sometimes we deal with late freezes, and it can freeze the fruit trees depending on the year. And so we do have peaches, and we can grow things, and we have our own climate concerns. It's not like Florida where everything grows in abundance all year round. It's pretty much tropical zone. So this is why these fruit festivals are important. And while I'll get the fruit that I can get, and we're going to be enjoying that fruit, there's also a message that, hey, can't we do better? Can't we, what can we do to be better? What can we grow? How can we change our environment? What can we do between now and next year? How can this festival reflect the changes that the community has received and up-leveled? And how can we bring that to, the world and our day-to-day life? So yeah, there's going to be delicious food. There's 10 more tickets. Ticket prices go up today at midnight because with inflation and food prices have gone up from the wholesaler. So you'll see that reflected in the ticket prices, and the festival's 2 weeks away. So even if you don't get a food ticket, don't worry about that. There will still be tickets to attend the festival. It's just the VIP and the premium ticket package with all of the VIP perks are going to be, those are limited. And so I only have 10 of those left.
Right.
But still come. There'll be plenty of room for Texas Fruit Festival. Come any time of the day. On the day of the festival, there'll still be some options to perhaps, if you come late, enjoy the evening entertainment or the afternoon speakers. So I'm still working out those ticket prices. That'll be prorated. So, but if you want to have the whole day experience, if you want to experience a fruit for me, I'm all about the food. I am all about the food. If I have a fruitarian plate there, like I want to eat that plate, but it's going to be, those are the lanyard people. You don't want to go and have a bracelet and be like, I don't have a lanyard, because if you don't have a lanyard, you're not getting food. You're not getting the fruit, the lunch or the snacks. You can have fruit, and the fruit is amazing. That's what we should be eating anyway. But, so everybody's going to get, all the ticket purchasers are getting fruit and sponsor food. But if you want the chef prepared food, which is incredible, buy your ticket for that level.
No, for real, you don't want to miss out. This is so worth it. And I promise I won't eat 3 plates this time.
I think we had extra like zoodles is what happened last year. Like we ran out of like the jalapeno poppers, and we ran out of like a couple things, but then we had a bunch of zoodles left. And we had like carrot meat left. And I think that's what you got, like what was left. We couldn't make any more plates, but there was some extra.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
No, definitely get your ticket. Tell us how to purchase tickets and to get more information. I'm going to put it in the chat as well.
Yes.
If you're interested in purchasing a ticket, there's also virtual tickets available for those who can't make it. Of course, we would love for you to come. But if you can't, then definitely you can join us on Zoom. So tell us about the website.
Yeah, it's going to be live streamed on Zoom. We're going to be recording everyone. So I have Zoom tickets already sold, and we're going to have a Zoom room going. And so you'll be able to watch the festival live, no matter where you are in the world. So that's why I have marketed Texas Fruit Festival all over the world best I could, so that everyone, that wants to watch. And the Zoom ticket's going to go up also. So, because we're getting closer to the festival. So you might want to go and buy your ticket now and support the festival so I can make that produce. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna,
Well, that's real. You've been investing in this, the room cost, everything.
Yeah, the venue.
You've been really putting yourself out there, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, because this is really for the good of we the people, and for the good of humanity, for all of the future generations, our children. And this will inspire like a whole movement. Imagine if we all do our part, and then our children get inspired to do that.
Yes, it's for our children. We want a better world for our children. It's all about the children. For everyone, we want everyone to heal, but man, it's for the children, so we can teach them about fruit trees, so they can just pluck the food right out of the fruit trees. I mean, my children, I homeschool my children. I don't think they've rarely eaten fruit from a tree. So we're planting fig trees and different things, but they don't have that experience. So I want our children to be raised in a different environment, and I want to plant fruit trees with the profits of Texas Fruit Festival and make an event out of it and invite anyone to come and help us plant it at a school. So my goal is to communicate with either a Montessori school, somewhere where children can see the fruit trees planted and know, hey, this is what a peach tree looks like. This is what a pear tree looks like. It's going to be abundant with so many pears. We have to water it. We have to take care of it, and it'll feed us for years. So this is the beauty of this, these trees, this world,
Yeah.
to live in
So
harmony with it.
yes, it's all about, yeah, reconnecting to the earth, to ourselves, to, our role here on the planet. We are here to serve, and the deeper we go into our own cleansing, the more we realize that we are here to serve. We all have different gifts. We all have different ways of serving, but this is I think there's nothing more important, than to
Yeah.
restore ourselves back to nature and rehabilitate our soils, regenerate our soils. There's so
That's
much
it.
chemicals going into the earth too, from these mass, agrochemical companies. Like, there needs to be a return, because we can't sustain this any longer. We need to figure out ways to grow our own food and
That's right.
return to wholeness.
Chemical free food.
Exactly. Okay, so the website is www.texasfruitfestival.com. I put it in the chat. If you want to reach out to Queen Tiffany or to myself, I can direct you as well to this important mission. I hope that you can all join us. Is there anything else, Queen, that you'd like to share?
Yeah, there's meetups happening Friday. Queen Aline is going to be the contact person for the meetup events that are happening Friday and Sunday morning. So Friday you can go to Casa de Luz at 6 p.m. It's a vegan a nonprofit restaurant and a village, and that's where the festival will be the next day. I will be setting up with a team of people, but you guys can go have dinner at the venue and then go to Barton Springs. And then Saturday all day is for ticketed purchasers. The festival is happening. And then Sunday, there's ecstatic dance. I believe to get into ecstatic dance, it's like $15. And then a lot of people, the ecstatic dance community go out to brunch to this Mexican restaurant, Cenote. So all of that information is available online, and Queen Aline is the contact for that.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Thank you so much for choosing me and asking me to help
Thank
in
you.
this.
That means everything to me. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to having everybody come. I love Casa de Luz. I've had the honor to, be called to Austin a few times, so I feel like an Austinite. I feel very connected to that city, to the people there. Casa de Luz is, man, the first time I went to Casa de Luz, I wanted to move to Austin. This was like 4 years ago. I said, what is this magical place? You could just
It is magical.
feel the pureness of those that are working there, that are living there. It is also a mission from the heart that they are there, planting seeds of love and compassion in others. And so many people come from all walks of life. Their food there is so good. It's all macrobiotic. Delicious. It's like one meal a day, and you could see them making the food, preparing it with love. And it's a whole experience. It's
beautiful. And they have raw vegan options. They have a salad that I love. I eat as much as I can. And, they've got something for everyone. They've got, alchemy juice bar. I know they were like, add more, make it bigger.
A little bit more, a little bit more. That's our meal.
They know me there now. I'm a regular. They're like, okay. They just give me a little more.
It's a double portion, and then we ask for more.
Yeah.
Vegans over here, we need a lot of lettuce.
That's right.
Oh, it's so good.
Thank you so much, Aline.
Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share this beautiful message with our friends and family. I will also make this available for our YouTube channels, so we can share them on our YouTube channels and spread the love, spread the message. We hope that you can all join us on September 10th, and if you can come on the 9th to come and hang out with us, and the 11th as well, so we could connect and get to know each other better and see how we can, support each other in creating heaven on earth and building long-lasting relationships. And I'm so excited to see you. I know Queen Jenny is on our live. She will be there. King Gregory is on. He will be there as well. And who else is coming? Who is on here? I saw one more. Anyway, we'll have a lot of our kings and queens that will be there. Queen Alva will come.
Yay!
Jules. It'll be so much fun. So come and face your fears. If you're nervous about coming to a new place, just know that we'll give you a big hug, and Queen Tiffany will give you a big hug, and it's just one big happy family. And we are really here for you and to support you and to get inspired by you too. We want to hear your journey as well. And who knows, maybe
That's
you could be a
right.
speaker next year if you have an incredible story to tell, incredible
Absolutely.
transformation. That was my first public speaking event that I did last year. I was so nervous. So I'm really excited to see how I'm going to be this year.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So much growth in all of us. So thank you, Queen
Yeah.
Tiffany, for inviting me, for saying yes to me helping you and supporting you in this way.
Thank you. Thank you. See you
Um,
guys there.
yes, we will see you there. If you have any questions, don't be hesitate to reach out. All right. So much love to you, sister. And I will see you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.